So we open kids, right? I hope it's a yes for most of you guys, because then that makes me very worried. Either way, kids, am I right? Noisy, smelly, and they make a lot of messes. But I was one, so here are some stories of things I did as a kid. So as a kid, you're sleepy and you like sleeping, but what do you do when you're downstairs and don't want to go upstairs to get in bed to sleep? Well, for me at least, what I would do is I would pull out 3 chairs from the kitchen counter and lay them in sleep, ignoring the fact that the living room is like a few steps away from me, and I could have laid on the couch, which is A, more comfy, B, has more space on it, and C, has blankets on it. This is enough where whenever we got into a conversation with somebody else, my parents would always take time to talk about the weird places I slept as a kid, because, it was kind of funny to think about it. Now, it probably gave my parents very good stories to tell people, but you know what it gave me? Really bad scoliosis. Actually, no, it isn't that bad, but my back is probably a little bit bented. On the topic of sleep, I guess I could talk about the time where I thought if you laid in bed for some time, it would automatically turn day. Now, I think you could probably imagine where I could have gotten this thought, but we're just going to ignore that fact. Unfortunately for me, it was probably around 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. when I did this, so I would have to wait for hours until 6 a.m. when my dad would get up and allow me downstairs. So while waiting, I would just be looking outside the big window to see if there's any difference in the light in the sky that would tell me how close morning was. The only thing that kept me up while waiting would be the car/city lights I could barely see in the distance. That was really cool to me as a kid. The lights were so interesting to look at because they were moving or just wide and, pretty, like stars. But unfortunately for me, they weren't completely able to hold out sleep. So I would either give up and go back to my room, or I would get a pillow and lay on it till I fell asleep. The only time I actually stayed out in my room for the whole night was when I had a pillow next to me, but I did fall asleep on it waiting for morning to come. And guess what I woke up to? After some time, I just stopped doing this, but I really don't know why. I think one reason why could be the fact that I kind of learned that waiting for morning to come as a kid who didn't know the concept of time yet was just a waste of time and sleep I could have gotten, so yeah. Luckily for you guys, the next thing is even more cringier than waiting outside your room for morning to come. So as kids, you usually play with your siblings and play pretend games, and if you don't have siblings, you usually would play pretend games by yourself. Either way, so one of these games me and my siblings would play would be pretend fighters who would fight against evil monsters. And to add on to the game to make it more realistic, we would make items out of cardboard, like swords, shields, and compasses, and bows and arrows. For the bow, we just got a stick that could be bended, and then we put a string on it, and then we would make cardboard arrows, but instead of, putting the arrows through the bow, we just threw them at the pretend monster because it worked better than a not working bow. So when we had all our armor and weapons ready, we all went to the backyard and started pretending to beat up fake monsters. Quick side note, every time I played a pretend game with my friends or siblings, somebody always has to be killed or pretend kidnapped by, the evil whatever. And I don't really know why this happens. I think it's just them trying to get attention, but I'm not joking here. This always happened whenever I played pretend games with people, and it's kind of annoying because it just breaks the reality of the game. So usually whenever we started playing the game, you would have the cringy stuff like somebody being killed or controlled by an evil monster, or we're beating up a villain, or whatever other things kids do nowadays. Victor, stop controlling our friend!
No, you bugs have too much friendship that makes you weak. If you didn't care about your friends, then you would have been much stronger than I, but since you care, I am stronger than you.
No, you're wrong. Friendship makes you stronger, so you're weak.
Wait, how did you break through my control beam?
Control beams don't work on people who have friendship. Hero friends, let's take this bug back to the gaming world. I am truly sorry that you guys actually had to hear that. Either way, I really enjoyed playing these games with my siblings back in the day. I do miss them sometimes, but I have better things to do nowadays. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys like it, please consider subscribing or liking. That'll help me out a lot and tells me that you guys enjoy this type of content. Either way, thank you for watching my first few cringy videos. Hopefully I can get better later on if I continue doing this YouTube thing. Thank you for watching. Bye.